Hello, my beautiful friends. Welcome to my channel. My name is Salima, and in today's video, I will be sharing my honest reviews on some of the new Korean lip tints and glosses in my collection. I will add swatches and comparisons of these lip tints so you can decide if these suit your makeup style, if they are worth your money, and if they are worth adding to your collection. This is actually part 2 of my Korean beauty lip tint review series. So if you have missed part 1, I will link it down below. So grab your favorite drink. I am sipping on some fresh sugarcane juice today. And yeah, let's get started. First, I wanted to talk about these Clio Crystal Glam lip tints. These were one of my absolute favorite lip product discoveries last year. I even included them in my top 5 lip products of 2024 video. These lip tints add a vibrant wash of color to the lips with an intense shine. It's like a mirror on your lips, super glossy and almost wet looking. They make my lips look so plump and juicy. It doesn't have shimmer or glitter particles in it. There is no tingling or plumping effect, just pure juicy shine. Unlike some popular lip tints like Roman and Peri Para that have a more liquidy consistency, these Clio lip tints have a creamy and emollient formula, so they add a nice moisture and feel luxurious on the lips. The glossiness and the shine last for a good 3 to 4 hours, and the stain sticks around for a solid 7 to 8 hours, which is amazing. Now, another lip tint that's super similar in terms of formula and wear time is the Lilybyred coating tint. I have it in the shade 09 Indifferent Fig, and in my experience, it's very similar to the Clio Crystal Glam tints. They have the same creamy texture, they feel super moisturizing on the lips, and both give you that amazing, wet looking, almost syrupy shine. It's incredibly glossy and makes your lips look so plump. The shine lasts for about 3 to 4 hours, and the stain lasts for a good 7 to 8 hours on both of them. Honestly, when I wore them side by side, I could barely tell the difference. I love the Lily by Red tint, but unless you're really drawn to a specific shade in that line, you probably don't need both. They're just too similar. Another lip tint from the brand Lily by Red is their Milky tint. I have it in the shade 08 Kaya Butter. Right away, you can tell it's a matte tint because the packaging has this matte finish, unlike the glossy bottles of their coating tints. The formula is super lightweight, almost like water. It glides on effortlessly and dries down to a matte finish within seconds. It also stains your lips almost instantly upon application, so it's perfect for those mornings when you're rushing out the door. Even though it's a matte stain, it doesn't feel dry or uncomfortable on my lips at all. This actually reminds me a lot of the Etude House Fixing Tint. They have a very similar consistency, color payoff, and that same matte finish. If anything, the only difference I can tell is that the applicator of the Lily by Red Tint doesn't pick and hold a lot of product. So I have to dip in 2 to 3 times to cover my lips. But it's not a big deal. I did a side by side comparison on my lips, and they both delivered similar longevity, that is 6 to 7 hours before the stain starts to fade. I love using both of these to create that natural bitten lip look. This is another amazing product from Lily by Red that I have tried. However, I will say the same thing that I said before. If you own and enjoy Etude House fixing tints, you don't necessarily need to rush out and buy this unless there is a specific shade that you are really dying to try. Another matte finish lip product is these Fwee pudding pots. You have probably seen them all over social media since they have launched. Considering these have a matte finish, I purchased them to be used as my blush and not really as a lip tint because I thought these will be drying on my lips. But surprisingly, they're not. I used this free silicone tip bouncy applicator to apply it on my lips, and it creates a soft focused blurring effect. I love that it doesn't accentuate any of my lip lines. The texture is so unique. It's like bouncy pudding. It feels super comfortable on the lips, not at all drying. However, I notice they don't last as long as some of my other matte lip tints, like the Etude House Fixing Tint, the Lilybyred Milky Tint, or the Amuse Dew Velvet tints. It also doesn't stain my lips, considering these are not really lip tints, right? So on me, it lasts for about 2 to 3 hours. In my experience, the longevity is better when I use them as my blush. Next up, let's talk about the Fwee 3D voluming glosses. They come in two versions, 30% and 70%. Basically, the 70% has more color while the 30% is more sheer. You can actually tell the difference by looking at the bottles. The 30% has a translucent, glossy look, while the 70% is completely opaque. Both give you this beautiful, jelly like shine on your lips, which is incredible. But I was a little surprised by the 70%. I expected it to be really pigmented, but it's more like a medium color. I would say it has 50 or 55% pigmentation level. They both last for about 3 to 4 hours, which is pretty good for a gloss. And even after they wear off, they leave your lips feeling really hydrated. Plus, they're not sticky at all. The only real difference I've noticed is that the shine on the 70% lasts a bit longer than the 30%. Overall, I really enjoyed these glosses. If you're in a market for a lip gloss and if you prefer a sheer gloss, go for 30%. But if you want a bit more color, 70% is a good option. You probably don't need both in the same shade though. Next up, let's talk about this Hera Sensual Nude Gloss. I have it in the shade 462 Speechless. And this is one of the most expensive lip products in today's video. It usually retails for around 30 to 35 US dollars. Now, I'm usually willing to splurge on a really good product, but honestly, I was a little disappointed with this one. There is nothing really special about it. It only lasts for 2 to 3 hours, which isn't great. I like the packaging and the shade is beautiful, but the formula just isn't worth the price tag. It reminds me a lot of the Fwee 70% lip glosses, but Fwee glosses are much more glossy. They last longer and they're significantly cheaper, around 13 to 14 US dollars. The pigmentation level is pretty similar between the two. Overall, I think the Fwee glosses offer much better value for your money and better performance compared to the Hera Nude Gloss. Next up, let's talk about these alternative stereo lip potions. I was totally drawn to them because of the packaging. They're so cute. They feel more like a lip serum than a traditional lip tint. They're lightly pigmented and they remind me a bit of the Benefit Benny tint, but with a more balmy and nourishing feel. I get the most natural, my lips but better look. With one coat of this lip potion, your natural lip color still peeks through. But with 2 to 3 coats, they become pretty opaque on the lips. I have the shade Tea Rose, and it actually pulls a bit brighter pink on me than I expected. So I usually pair it with a brown lip liner. I much prefer the shade number 5, Peach Brulee. It has these beautiful red brown undertones, so I don't need to worry about a lip liner. These feel really moisturizing and set down to a glossy finish on the lips. The glossiness doesn't last super long, but the stain is amazing. It lasts for about 7 to 8 hours easily. Overall, I really like these alternative stereo lip potions. They're perfect for a natural, everyday look. Next up, let's talk about the TirTir Waterism Glow Tint. The packaging is absolutely gorgeous, so I was super excited to try it. Right away, I noticed that it has much more slippery texture than the Clio or the Lilybyred tints. It's incredibly glossy, but unfortunately, that shine fades super fast, especially while talking or eating or drinking. It stains your lips almost instantly, which is good, but the stain is really strong. The shade also seems to darken a lot after you apply it. I got the shade 05 Scotch shot and it went on looking brown. But within seconds, it deepened into this almost burgundy color on my lips. It has a lot of purple in it, so it's definitely a bold look. The stain lasts a long time, but it stains my lips unevenly, which I really don't like. I end up with these patches of color on one side of my lips. I do like the shade Honey Nut, but it's still pretty bold, so I have to be in a mood to wear it. Overall, I think the packaging is cute, but the product is just okay. Honestly, I have other lip tints in my collection that performs much better, so I probably won't be repurchasing these. Next up, let's talk about the Dasique Juicy Dewy tint. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. This is another glossy lip tint, but the shine is not as intense as the Clio or the Lilybyred or the Fwee glosses. It has this really thin, watery texture, and the color payoff is amazing, even with just one layer. The glossiness lasts for a good 2 to 3 hours, and the stain lasts for around 6 to 7 hours, which is great. I also love that it stains my lips evenly and there is no patchiness. This formula actually reminds me a lot of the Peri Para Ink Mood Glowy tints. The only difference is that Peri Para tints tends to darken a bit after you apply them. The Dasique tint stays true to its original color. Overall, they have a very similar color payoff and performance. So if you love the Peri Para Ink Mood Glowy tints, you will definitely enjoy the Dasique Juicy Dewy tint. Okay, next up is the Dasique Cream the Rose tint. I have it in the shade 02 Rose Cream. Now this one's a matte tint, but it actually feels totally different from the Etude House Fixing tint or the Lily by Red Milky tint. It has this really strange, almost silicone feel on my lips. It's kind of like wearing a pore filling primer on your lips, if that makes sense. I honestly don't love the way it feels. It's uncomfortable and makes my lip feel dry and tight. The stain lasts pretty long, but after an hour or two, it starts to settle into all of my lip lines. It actually makes my lip look worse. So, unfortunately, I cannot really recommend this one. And finally, let's talk about the Laka Fruity Glam Tint. I actually featured this brand in my first K Beauty lip tint video, and I've been loving it so much that I picked up two more shades. This one feels like a perfect mix between a lip oil and a lip tint. It's super nourishing on the lips, just like a lip oil, but it leaves this beautiful stain that lasts for about 5 to 6 hours on me. It makes my lips look so juicy and fresh. I absolutely love it. I definitely recommend checking out the Laka Fruity Glam Tints. And that's it for today's video. I hope you found it helpful. Let me know in the comments if you have tried any of these lip tints or glosses. I would love to hear your thoughts. Also, tell me about your favorite lip tint formulas. I am always looking for new recommendations. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more beauty content. Stay healthy, stay beautiful, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.